This is A Who All Gonna Be Their podcast, a place where you get to be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of A Who All Gonna Be There podcast, the place where you get to be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat.
Yeah,
And we back in the building, and
we are out here.
Therese is here. She's back with us. She has a surprise to talk to you all about. We have Eli in the building.
Hello.
We are ready to roll. What's going on, y'all?
child, we chilling.
Man, yeah, nothing much. Just a big old finale that happened.
Whew. And
Whole
a
lot of
finale,
stuff.
a finale it was, okay? Because we still talking about it right now. Therese, I mentioned you had a little surprise for our listeners and viewers. Would you mind telling them what happened in the last couple of weeks?
I lost 16 pounds.
Okay, weight loss. Congratulations.
Now, how did I do that?
Hard work.
By dropping a baby.
Hey.
My little baby is here. She asleep right now. She might make an appearance on this pod because she about to do her in a minute. So y'all might get to see her. I don't know.
Yes.
She might pop up on the screen randomly. Like we might be talking about Gabler and I'll be like, whoop.
And she's the cutest little thing. Oh my God.
I can't wait for y'all to
Adorable.
see her. She is cute, adorable. She was due Christmas Day, and she was like, well, I'm not doing that. I guess
Right.
she was not as excited about a Christmas birthday as I was. I was so excited about it. And she was just like, nah, son, I'm coming 3 weeks early. 3
Exactly.
weeks. And
She's
so
making
yeah,
sure there's 2 celebrations. One
Yes,
for her birthday, one for Christmas.
that's exactly what she did.
Yes, I was getting ready to say that. I was like, she knows. You ain't
And
about
she
to be.
picked that was a good little time too. She was born on the 6th of December. So she popped up nice. And that's a good little time. She can still be in school. She can still have her little birthday party.
Mhm.
And and then give her Christmas gifts.
And
Yeah,
birthday
she
gifts.
said I want separate birthday gifts and Christmas. So y'all remember that.
know you was gonna try to get her as close to Christmas so you can smush it all together.
I'm not gonna smush it all
Mhm.
together. But I
Mhm.
definitely love the fact of having a Christmas baby. But she's still a Christmas
She's still a
baby.
Christmas baby, yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Which
gonna
y'all
say that.
is, of
Mhm.
course. Yeah.
Whew, that's good. Nothing really new with me. I mean, I'm graduating.
Graduation on the
tomorrow,
way.
y'all. Tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that's like
walking.
tomorrow.
Like, it hasn't hit me yet. Like, I'm really officially about to be done with school.
Oh my gosh, because you've been in school all your life.
23 years. 23
That's
years straight.
insane.
23.
That is insane. And all you gotta do is walk up, get your
To me.
diploma, shake a hand, and try not
Yeah.
to trip.
I bet not trip. I went and got my outfit and stuff this week too. So I was like,
What color you wearing?
I'm wearing a maroon blazer. I got this like black, like shiny-ish kind of shirt. It's black. It's not silk, but it's like, I don't know, but it's patterned as well. It's almost like a
Ooh.
leather.
Y'all not gonna be outside, are y'all? You're gonna be inside, right?
Yeah, inside. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's nice. I'm excited.
I'll get us a picture. I'm mad I can't come.
I know. It's okay. Maybe, well, I'm going to say next time, but they won't be a next time.
Maybe
Going
you
back,
come
go
to the
ahead.
next graduation.
PhD, go ahead, doctorate.
No.
Next
The
graduation we're going to is gonna be Ryan.
No, but really, because done with graduations. But I did in the holiday spirit, you all. For our
That's-
viewers, they can
Ooh.
see a
That's
little
cute.
Christmas sweater.
You know what? See, I've been lack of sleep. I definitely see. This is why we be on one accord, Eric. Why did I pull out? I have a Grinch shirt that I was like, I'm gonna put my little Grinch shirt on. It's not Grinch, it's Elf, but I always say it looks Grinchy. But it's an Elf shirt, and I was gonna put it on for the pod, and it's laying upstairs on my bed. And why?
Oh my God.
We could have all
We
showed
was
out.
thinking the
Eric
same.
was selfish. I have a Lilo and Stitch one I could have pulled out, but
Man.
you know what? He got the sooner power. I don't blame
I
you.
wish y'all would have said something because I almost started to say something before the pod too. I was like, y'all, I got my Christmas one, but I didn't think of it.
I forgot Christmas is literally like
Next week.
Next week.
10 days away. 10
Oh
days
my
as we're recording
God.
this podcast.
Oof.
And our weather is about to get back. I don't know about y'all, but our weather is going to be like almost sub-zero temperatures for Christmas.
Bruh, this
In
weather
Oklahoma?
is ridiculous.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Y'all gonna get some snow.
Right.
Y'all
So-
gonna get some for Christmas? Most likely.
They didn't say snow. They just said cold.
Mm.
So I hope so. I haven't. Well, maybe one year we had like a snowy Christmas in the last few years, but I haven't seen it since childhood. Like it used to be every Christmas I could expect snow lining the rooftops and all this stuff like that. But what about you, Therese? Have you ever had a white Christmas?
To my memory, we were just talking about this earlier. I think I've been in Texas for 33 years, my whole life, and I probably only seen maybe like 3, maybe 4 like snowy Christmases.
Wow.
Like I just like one year, I know I was in college and it snowed like fluffy blanket snow. And we had exams and I was supposed to come home for Christmas and everybody got stuck up there. We ended up making it home for Christmas because it happened like maybe like 3 or 4 days for Christmas or maybe like 4 or 5 days. But it was that weekend where the semester shut down. You know, we was all coming home and it was great. It was a bunch of white people and they were in their underwear. It was all the white people on campus. They dressed up in their underwear and they did a snowball fight. See me? I just watched from my window because what I'm not gonna do is get out in that snow in my drawers. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Eli, have you had a white Christmas?
I've had quite a few white Christmases. To my knowledge, I can't remember them. I have the memory of a potato, but I know at least I've seen white on the ground. I've seen white coming down a couple Christmases. It feels like I'm from the Pacific Northwest and feels like it snows most every winter, but Christmas specifically, I can't tell. Probably 95% chance.
Our Februarys have been the coldest.
Snowy, for us. February is the coldest month. That is the coldest month. So it's typical when we get more snow there.
Yeah, was that last February? Or was it the one before that? No, I think it was the one before that. I can't even remember. That's when we had our dramatic snow shutdown in Dallas. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to move. Everything shut down.
Grocery stores gone.
Grocery stores, highways, gas
food.
Stations. Baby, we didn't know how to function because we was like, what is this?
And everybody else. As a little kid, love that. No school. No one knows what's going on. Great. Your parents are making sure you're fed. The moment you get above a certain age and you actually have to drive in it and do stuff, that's where snow. Look, it's like, hey, give me a white Christmas. After that, you know what?
It was cute, it was nice, but y'all know, I know y'all watch the news and y'all keep on track, and I be telling y'all how trash Texas, how the government is down here, and everything shut down. And when I say everything, I mean electricity, water.
Yeah,
we had to drive around for 2-3 hours looking for a hotel, and all the hotels were booked, closed. Oh my gosh, it was so pretty outside, but we froze.
Y'all felt like Mary and Joseph, huh?
Did
when they tried to go? Ain't no room. Marriott closed the door. Holiday Inn closed the door. The Hilton closed the door. Nothing.
Baby, we even went to a little raggedy motel and they was booked. We like, oh Lord Jesus,
not the Motel 6,
baby. We couldn't even make it. We just came home, and luckily I'm a little hoarder when it comes to blankets and stuff like that. So we warmed up, and it was nice.
Listen, y'all, and we getting ready to move on to the Survivor conversation. Trees keep it cold in her house.
So my man keep it cold. I don't keep it cold. You see me now?
Trees, that house be cold, y'all.
And I have the heater on right now, and you see I'm wrapped up in a blanket, in my Santa blanket.
It's weighted blanket season now.
Hold on.
The bundle up, warm.
Black Santa.
It's funny that you mentioned the Black Santa because you know how we talk about white Christmas. I was like, the hotels are like, why the Christmas gotta be white? Why it can't be black?
Listen. Can you imagine coming outside and seeing black snow? I'd be like, oh Lord, the world about to end, Lord.
It's over.
Baby,
That's ash.
I'd be repenting, Lord Jesus, forgive me for my
It'd be too late by the end.
Oh Lord, it's double too late. It's double too late, Eric.
We have somebody who has interrupted the group chat. Somebody has interrupted the group chat, and they are here. Josh has joined us. He's late, but just in time for the Survivor 43 finale conversation. Y'all ready for this?
Go on, pop that off. Update us. Hey, Josh.
Hey, y'all. I just took a nap because I've been running rampant all week long, so I had to take me a little nap in order to be prepared, but I'm here.
All right.
Hey, you in the building.
So
you in the
only
number.
Slightly late.
Nah, you like an hour late, but we're gonna let you make
it. He's good. He's good.
Actually, wait, 41 minutes late, but we'll take it.
Shoot, end of the day, right on time for Survivor.
Right
in time. So we get to the finale. We got the final 5. We have Jesse, the front runner. We have Carla, the second place front runner. Then we have Gabler. We have Cassidy, and we have Owen.
All jumbled up. We don't know what place.
We don't know what's going on, right? And even more so, they're on the beach. And I kind of turned on the episode a little late, like 5 minutes in. But I got the gist of the fact that they got the note for the advantage, and they have to do a word scramble. And they have to figure out to get to it's a clue to the advantage. We don't know what the advantage is, but it's a clue. And so they frantically working on it. And Carla jumps up because she gets it. And she take off. I will say she took off running, but her ankle. So she kind of hobbled down the beach.
Like she did a little hobble. A little hobble wobble.
Or like Josh said last time, she had a hop in her step. And so she's looking for it. And she's like, I know it has to be a dead tree because it's talking about knots. And so she's looking for it. And then Owen, he's like pissed because he's like, oh, I cannot let Carla get it. I gotta hurry up and get it. So he finally gets it. He takes off running for sure. He catches up to Carla and they're looking, and they both, he figures out, oh, I need to go to the knot and look. So he finds the dead tree where we see that the advantage is, right? So he takes off running back down the beach. She's like, oh my God, my darn ankle messed up. I'm going to try to catch him. And so she runs. She finally gets up to him. He's feeling around for it. And she, move, and she moves and she snatches it from him. And she gets the advantage and he is livid. And it put me in the mind of Janelle snatching the doll from James and BB7 All-Stars to win the veto. He's like, you did me a harm. And she's like, oh, I'm just broke a nail. And so that just put me in the mind because she literally snatched that from him. And he throws a tantrum.
Upset.
Like punching the air, punching trees, kicking rocks in the ocean.
Now, was it mad or was he upset? Like,
it is like,
yes,
Owen has done, and I'll probably talk more about this as we get to Final Tribal Council, but it's like he has did a pity party. I don't know if you all have paid attention. He has had a pity party every episode since merge. It's been woe is me. The world is out to get me. And ain't nobody been coming for you since James and maybe Carla every now and again. But nobody has been worried about Owen.
Child, Owen is the equivalent to me as parsley. You know, like when
he's a garnish.
Exactly, a garnish. You prepare a meal, and it's like, I need something else on the plate. Let me just throw this on here. Here you go. Send it out.
A little paprika.
Like, and then when he gets to the table, oh, this is cute. Let me take a picture of my plate. And then you take the little garnish on, you throw it to the side, and then you finish your meal. That's
oh my God.
Man, I will say with Owen, the Charlie Brown analogy, love it every single time he does it.
Oh my gosh, definitely.
Little old Charlie Brown trying to kick the football and
right
missed over and over. They kept pulling it on him over and over.
Bless his little heart. And so Carla gets this advantage. We don't know what it is, but they get to the challenge. And I assumed it would be an advantage for the challenge. And so she gets 10 blocks. They have to carry these blocks. We'll untie the little thing, get their bag, and then get the puzzle pieces or the pieces out, use a little bar to hold them together, go over what you call a seesaw teeter-totter thing, and then put them in there and then solve the phrase at the end. And so she gets 10 blocks done already. So Owen is pissed again when Jeff says that I'm even more mad because this could have been easy for me. Now she has this huge advantage. I'm like, here you go. And so they start and everybody is doing well. Jesse in last place again. Surprise. Not really. And so Carla takes the early lead and Owen's right behind her. And then everybody else gets into it and they're at the end.
Hold on. You think Jesse was last on purpose? Because he knew he had been. Baby, I would have been taking my time.
Sweet time.
I would have been chilling.
I wouldn't have been doing nothing. That's what I would have been. Because right. I'm like
the minimum there.
Exactly. I've been tying them real slow, and I know Jeff. How you moving so slow? I just can't seem to get it.
I'm trying, Jeff. Leave me be.
And so they get there, and they're trying to figure it out. and we know what the phrase is. So we see, you know, they kind of show the camera to what they're doing. I'm like, y'all ain't nowhere near it. But then Carla thinks she gets an aha moment. She starts, I'm like, what? Is she about to upset and get this final 5? You know, no, her phrase was all the way wrong. But then Owen gets an aha moment and he gets it right. And Owen wins the final 5 immunity. And so the dark cloud has lifted and he is happy. He has won immunity. His nemesis, for some reason, is Carla. She did not win. And so Carla is pretty much dead in the water at this point, right? And so they're back at tribal council. They're back at camp, and she's not trying to go out with a fight though. She's like sitting with Jesse. She's like, I think we really need to get Cass. That's our only way forward. And Jesse's thinking, his wheels are turning, and he's like, the only path I see for myself is maybe I need to get rid of Cass and keep Carla because she's a threat like me. And if I get rid of Carla, the next biggest threat is me, and I don't want to go home. And so he is down for the plan for them to work together and pull in a Gabler or they didn't feel like Owen was going to do it because when Owen won, he got reward. Yes. And he took Cass to the reward. And they had steak and they had cheesecake.
Yeah, that would have been a reward I was trying to use. All them other rewards been raggedy. Like, I don't want to. They gave them like coffee and bagels last. I don't want that. Right. I want steak and potatoes, man.
Steak and potatoes, the vegetables, and cheesecake and all that. All the goodness. And so they were like, Owen ain't going to vote her out. So we need to pull Gabler in. But Carla, she can't lie for nothing. And she just keep lying for no reason. And so she doesn't really want to get rid of Cass. She wants to target Jesse. So after she gets through talking to Jesse about getting out Cass, and he's down for it, which is really going to save her. She don't know it because this plan would really save her because she doesn't know he had the idol. But she goes to Gabler and is like, we need to get out Jesse. And then she's running through the scenarios. He's this, he's that. And Gabler's just like, but you know what? I don't really want to go with y'all because that's not what's in my better interest. He's like, I need to do what's best for my game. And in his confessionals, as we've seen, he's told us, he's like, the best chance I have is sitting next to Owen and Cassidy. So whatever I can do to make that happen is what I'm going to do. And then she, for some reason, like a broken record, goes to Cassidy. It's like, starts trying to run her, what Jesse has done in the game. And Cassidy takes offense to it. She's like, stop, Carla. I don't need you to try to tell me about my game and try to make me feel like I don't have any agency in the game and I don't know what I'm doing. And you're trying to make me seem like my game is not good and discounting my game. And they get into it. And Carla's like, well, at the end of the day, so you're going to vote me out? Then I'm just going to tell the jury that, honestly, you know, any move that you made post-marriage, you didn't make it without me and James. And she was like, so are you saying that if I vote you out, that you're going to go slander my name to the jury?
Is.
And Carl's like,
the answer was yes.
Is.
The answer was yes.
I was so like entertained at that moment. I said, look at Carla choosing violence. Like, that's what you need to do. Like, she probably gonna send your ass home. You need to pull out whatever you want to pull out.
A bit of beef, a bit of button heads.
Petty, yes.
Fight for your life. Fight for your life.
But exactly, this $1 million. I'm throwing everything up there to the wall. See what's there.
You do what you got to do out there. Like, I fully support and encourage everything that Carla was doing out there.
I do too. I just think that there was no, I mean, she should have known based on her relationship with Cassidy at this point. What made you think they weren't going to go back and tell Jesse that you've been trying to get him out? Because then that's exactly what Cass. I hope you know she's been running around here trying to put a target. And Jesse's like, Carla, what the heck? I wanted Cassidy out. Like, why?
And I do believe he was gonna vote out Cassie for sure.
He was.
Definitely.
Because he knew that she could beat him in the Final Four, because that's what he's thinking about. Who has a better chance at winning Final Four? Cassidy or Carla? Cassidy does. Because Carla's busted up, hand jacked up, leg jacked up. Everything about us jacked up at this point.
Now she on the sick and shut in list.
And so it's like, at this point, I'm taking my chances with Carla. And so she gets ratted out once more, and Jesse's he's toiling with the idea of like what he should really do for his game. Because he does have the idol that nobody knows, right? So they get to tribal council, and Jeff is asking them questions. Basically, Carla's talking. He's like, "Well, Carla, you talking about like as if you're the one." She's like, "I know I'm the one that's going home. Like they're coming for me, and so I just want to know there's another option. There's things that we can do, and I just think that we can get out someone else." And so they started talking about it, and then Jesse started talking. He's like, "Well, Jesse, you're being straight up, so you must be talking about such and such." He's like, "Yeah, I am, Jesse." He's like, "And actually," he's like, "Wait." He gets in his pocket.
I wish he would have waited.
Oh my God.
It was still a good moment, though, but I wish he would have waited.
He said, I honestly, Jeff, I'm not really worried about what's going on tonight because I'm punching my ticket to Final Four. If you guys remember this little trinket here, this is Janine's idol.
Janine, they paying and Janine was like,
listen,
on the floor.
When I tell you, because I was working at Bryce and Windows Survivor finale party. When I tell you that the bar went wild when he pulled the idol out, everyone was shook like Janine. Everyone was hyped. I was like, wow.
That was a good moment.
It was a great moment because it was like
it would have been even better if he waited, but it was a good moment.
Because it was like right in the thick of the tension with Carla. Like, I'm not the biggest threat. There's other threats here. And then Cassie's like, well, you're just trying to downplay your threat level, acting like you ain't did nothing in the game, and we all know you've been X, Y, and Z. And so he pulls that out, and he's like, so I'm punching my ticket to Final Four, and everybody's stunned. And then they're like, you know what? There is other options. And Jesse was like, you want to talk? She's like, let's talk. So Jesse and Carla get up to go talk, and they're discussing. He's like, I could use this idol on you. They're going to vote for you. And I couldn't
pay me to use that idol at Final Four. Really? Lying.
And so he's like, but I feel like they may change my vote, like change their vote to me if they get an inkling that I would use it for you.
And they should.
So, right. And so he used it, he was like, I could do this, but I'm not really sure. So we just got to think. And so then he's like, Gabriel, come up. Let's see if we can get Cass out. Gabriel, let's talk. So they start talking. I'm like, is they really fit to flip this thing on Cass right here in the middle of the thing? Like, I'm just at the edge of my seat at this point. And then they sit down and Owen and it's chaos. And then Jeff's like, all right, it's time to vote. So everybody go vote. Anybody got immunity idol? Jesse goes. He was like, based on my good friend Cody over there, I'm taking a page. I'm learning from him. I'm using this idol for myself. So he kind of
why did he have to call out Cody like that? He ain't have to. He ain't have to.
But he gagged him, I feared. And so he played the idol for himself. We opened the votes. One vote, Jesse. He's like, Carla voted for me. And then the rest were for Carla. And unfortunately, Carla was voted out at Final 5. And Jesse was like, what, Carla? You voted for me? She was like, I ain't about to let you have no shit. You ain't about to have no perfect game. Carla was like, no. You not get it to the end with no perfect game. And so she took that argument away from him. So I'm like, you know what? Carla played this game to the bitter end. She was a villain. I don't care. Carla was a villain. And she played amazingly.
She was low-key a sneaky villain.
Yes.
She didn't do a lot of straight in your face type of stuff. She did a little sneak behind your back and then bam in your face a little bit. She wasn't a full on, but I agree with that. She did have a good little villain role this season, especially toward the end.
Exactly. She was slicing throats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She had some stumbles.
Yeah, pull out the emotional manipulation.
She was manipulating Queen.
Ain't no hero going to emotionally manipulate people like that. Pulling out the tears and all that.
No, she pulled the telenovela for sure. And so, she went home and she snatched Jesse's perfect game from him, which again, petty and brilliant. Love it. And we're down to the Final 4. We called this. We all figured Carla would go at 5. So we had the Final 4. And their challenge, I like this challenge. It's actually interesting to see. They have to use the little stick to hold these bowls and maneuver the bowls through this windy little pattern and then set the bowl on top of this stand. And they have to stack 15. The first person to stack 15 wins the final immunity challenge of the season, guarantees their spot in the final 3, and decides who goes into fire making. Going into the challenge, who did y'all think was going to win this one?
Look, I called in my prediction. I said whichever girl survives Final 5 was going to win immunity. Once Carla left, I said Cassie winning this Final 4 challenge.
Mm-hmm.
My guess was Gabler, actually.
Me too.
Because he's a surgeon,
really?
so his
his steady hands.
Steady hands, yeah, exactly is what I assumed.
Me too.
Shoot, yeah, I thought Owen. Just
Really?
because my heart said Jesse, just because I wanted him to win. But realistically, but Owen, I don't know. It was. I just knew it was a toss up. I do feel like Cass was the favorite, but
yeah,
second bet would be Owen.
I tweeted. I said, and when Jesse wins this Final Four immunity and punches his way to Final 3, then what? His first and only win would be the final one. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, it's really just a dream because I know he wasn't winning based on everybody else's stack. He literally had like 5 pieces. Everybody else had 10.
He was behind from the start. He dropped it without anything on top. Like, from the very first bowl, I knew it was over.
Mans couldn't win nothing.
Okay, nothing.
And so like we said, Gabler was going to win because his stack was the highest, but the wind came in.
Yeah, that one
blew his thing. Apparently, it wasn't stacked straight enough. I'm using quotes for our listeners. I'm quotations around that. It wasn't stacked straight enough, so the wind blew his thing down. I was like, oh dang, because he was close to winning. And so it's out of Cass and Owen, and they're stacking, they're neck and neck, and the wind blows Owens down. I'm like, well, Cassidy is still in it, and then at this point, Jesse has like 9 or 10 now. So I'm like, ooh, Cassidy's is wobbling in the wind. Could this be the upset that we need? Could this be what Jesse needs to clutch this $1 million bag? Because that's all he needed. Hers does not fall, and she does win the Final Four immunity challenge.
Well, it did fall just about 5 seconds after she got to the platform.
Baby, she got lucky. Like, girl, you better hurry up.
That part. And so she wins, and I'm like, Jesse, should have followed your first mind and tried to make Carla feel comfortable to not vote you and keep her and then get rid of Cass, because exactly what he thought would happen was Cassidy would win the Final Four immunity.
And exactly what happened.
And so at the end of the day, he knew that he was going to fire making no matter what, because his resume was too large. Nobody wanted to sit next to him. And so he knew he just needed to practice fire making. What stunned me, and I don't know about if it stunned y'all or not, but I was definitely like, is it crack? Are they smoking?
Because is it crack?
Because Cassidy went to Owen and she was like, so I'm going to do Gabler and Jesse I'm thinking about doing it. He's like, no, put me in it. Put me in the fire making. I want to do it.
That was stupid.
I don't know. I agree with them. No, I know. I'm talking with.
Explain yourself.
I know 2 of our fellow people in here have not watched all Survivor seasons. Shoot, I haven't watched.
I have not.
But I will bring up season 38, Chris Underwood. And so, just to educate y'all a little bit, Chris Underwood.
Hold on.
Third boot. Third boot, kicked out off the edge of extinction for literally the whole game. He had a chance to come back. He lost. He got sent back to edge of extinction. And then finally, at top 6, he won the comp to go back in the game. So he left like day 9, I think, meeting no one. He only met the people from his tribe.
Barely knew names.
He came back. There was a front runner. I think it was Rick Devins. Yeah, he was basically the Jesse of the season. He was scheming. He was idol hunting. All of that.
Dang.
I think that was Rick Devins' season.
Yes,
but, this was second season of fire making, or one of the first seasons of fire making. Chris steps up, says, I want to take down. He won immunity, Final Four immunity. He said, I am going to be the one to take down Rick Devins. He's leading this game. I'm going to do it. And despite only playing like 10 days of Survivor, he made it to Final 3, beat Rick Devins, and won the game.
That's wild.
Pretty much because he.
I feel like I want to watch this season.
Yeah, it just boils down to the fact that like you kill the king, you become the king.
Yeah, I would have did the same thing.
Even back
in that situation.
Yeah, even at because
I'm lying.
Let's be real. The people in that Final 3 that we ended up having, not all of them had like the strongest of resumes. They don't have like that big shining star moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If you take out Jesse, that's why like I was in support of Owen and Gabriel saying I need this for my game to stand out. Because if I take out Jesse, that's going to be a huge resume boost for me. I took him out, who was probably the odds-on favorite to win. So it was kind of going to be necessary for this game. We've seen back in season 40, Winners at War, the jury criticized Natalie for not giving up Final Four immunity and going in to fire herself to take out take out Tony. They said if she'd taken her out, she probably would have won that season and would have had their votes.
First of all, hold on. I'm not giving them my immunity to go play, pretend, and make believe fire.
Yeah, I'm not giving up immunity.
And shit, we can cover this down the line just because I know we still have to talk about the eventual winner. But I don't know. I think this in a game where the finale is full of passengers, where it's like you had a bunch of drivers throughout the season. You had Jesse, you had Carla, you had Cody, where they're the ones directing the game. And no one really has a move. Name a move that Cass had. It was pretty much winning to save herself. Name a move that Gabler has.
Exactly.
I don't know. Name a move that Owen has.
I'm with you.
I don't know.
We gonna get moves, but
we gonna get to that.
On like first glance, Eric. Like at first glance for them, like no one.
But are you talking about for the players right that are there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean, and yeah, and I agree with because I'm. Y'all, I'll talk about this more. I've been fighting with folks in the trenches since last night about this, what happened, this controversial win or whatever, which I didn't think would be so controversial because it was so evident to me and most of us on this podcast. But I, from the edit standpoint, I saw what happened coming, but I seen that on Twitter, somebody talked to me about in the player's perspective, I could see why, like you just mentioned, Josh, how there wasn't something so visible that they like, oh yeah, you do need this flashy moment. Because I'm like, Gabler, you don't really need it. And I think he knew that, but he needed to play that up for them anyway. But anyways, going back to Eli, don't you come on our pod. Look, Trees, look how he tried to come over here and tell us what we need to do.
Somebody.
Trying to educate someone. Let me educate
I'm educating you guys. I'm educating the viewers. You know what? You guys better go back and watch 38.
You better be educating the viewers. You better educate me. Because I know everything already.
Right.
Shoot.
Come over here. I've looked at Survivor Wiki. Shoot.
Survivor Wiki.
You're not
wrong. But so, okay. Y'all made a case for them to agree. But I just know me, if my ally won Final Four, you better take me to Final Three. Forget sending me to I almost may lose.
If that.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's a correct logic. But it's logic that makes sense if no one has a move.
Yeah.
No, like I'm just saying this because Eric, I know I play games with you, and Teresa, you too. Y'all don't play games to the point where y'all need a big flash move like that at the end. Like
that's true. That's probably why because we build up that social game from day one.
Because it's been the case for the last 2 seasons in this modern era of Survivor,
that's
like
true.
COVID. The person who got brought to Final 3 is the one who won the game. Erica and Marianne, they both got brought. They didn't even go.
That's true.
Wow, that's interesting. It broke that to this time because they ain't
I called it. I said whoever won 5 was going to win this game. And go back to last week's episode. I called it.
I'm halfway there, so we'll see. So yeah, so
I was all the way off. But viewers don't go back. Y'all don't need to look back at.
Look at you trying to educate somebody.
And I got it all the way wrong. I said it'd be a Jesse Carlin finale.
Like in what world did he think? Okay.
Let me dream in my dreams, Eric.
Okay, I did come up with a scenario, and I said this. We talked about this in our group chat, and we'll get back to the rest of the story. So I said the only way that I could potentially see a Jesse and Carla both in the Final 3 was they had to work together cohesively and trust each other fully at Final 5, meaning Carla could not vote Jesse, making him the sole vote, because if he had to use the auto for her, and she would have to vote out, and he need to use his vote for Cass, and she used her vote for Cass, not her voting Jesse, so that way no votes are on Jesse, and Carla is safe, and they take out Cass, and they're in the Final 4, right? So with Cassidy out the way, we seen that Gabler's bowls fell, Owen's bowls fell, leaving Jesse with 9 or 10 able to possibly just go in and win because they were so far behind, right? Carla being in the Final 4, maybe she would have won, But even if she didn't, Jesse was next in line to win because both of those other guys' bowls failed. So he very well could have won Final Four immunity, or somehow Carla beasted out, because we've seen time and time again when she's up against the ropes that she knows how to win these challenges that she probably shouldn't win. And so Carla could have potentially won Final Four, and they take each other to Final Three. That is the only scenario, which was very improbable and it did not happen, that I could have seen yours playing out, Eli.
I said the only way they get in Final Four together was if Carla won immunity at 5.
Yeah, she needed that too. Yeah, agreed.
And I really wished that they made it there, but you know what? Cookie crumbles. That's
because it would have been a clash of titans to see both of them in Final Tribal Council.
Oh yeah.
Do you not know?
I just want to see
in
Modern Survivor or the most recent season just a clash of titans, just a powerhouse versus a powerhouse. We can talk about this more when we talk about just overall the season, but
yeah,
gosh, I'm waiting for that.
That would have been just amazing to see. So anyway, so she goes to Gabler, and Gabler's like, I want to make fire too. And so she's trying to decide on who she's going to send. She's like, I don't know, Gabler's looking a little frail. I don't know if he's going to that's what he wants y'all to
He
think.
was playing it up, because if I had a goddamn dollar for every time Gabler said, oh, I'm sick, oh, I'm weak,
From day one.
I was like, Gabler, you playing it up, bro, because I saw you over there doing jumping jacks. What is you doing? You lying?
No, because what was those first 3 episodes? He
said,
my bag.
He said he was playing it up.
Like, sir, but anyways, they fell for it.
I would have been doing it too.
So they get to Final Four Tribal Council. Everybody's looking at, okay, they see Cash. She got her 3rd immunity win. She tied on whatever. And so they're like, so what are you basing your decision on? She's like, I just need to do what's best for my game. And at this point, the way she articulated what she was going to do, why she made the decision that she was getting ready to make, was like, I know what people think should be happening, but what's going to happen is what I feel like is best for me to get to the end and win. And so I'm like, okay, I like that she's focused. She's not listening to what other people are doing, and she's doing what's best for her. So I can see this type of conviction. It's like that she could articulate well in the end that could potentially give her the win. And so she ultimately decides to take On with her to Final Three, which we all said that last week that On was a shoe-in for the finale because what have you done? And so Gabler goes against Jesse.
Exists.
In fire making. Exactly. That's all he's done. In power. What you say?
I said I called this too.
You did. And so Gabler's versus Jesse in the fire making. And it was almost not even fair. Because Gabler was sitting here, he was like kind of like twiddling his thumb.
Baby, he was taking his little time, but it was so quick at the same time.
I said it was like he was prepping to make s'mores, is how easily and laid back
he was like.
And that fire just started building.
Brother man was confident.
And poor Jesse scraping with all his might on that flint, trying to get something started. I'm like, now when he in jail prison, then they don't teach you fire making skill. You was in a gang. Like, where are your criminal
Why
skills?
Eric think they be? Why do he think everybody in prison are arsonists? That's not how prison works.
I just feel like
juvie.
Oh my god!
Oh, he was only he wasn't in real prison.
We been knew that.
I thought he was in prison.
Not Eric.
No. Yeah.
Oh, he was an almost felon. Is that what it is?
Lord.
He could have fell down the pipeline. I think that's what he was implying. He could have fell down the pipeline.
I think he could have said, I think he was gesturing towards, I could have been down this road. I could have been this life because I went to juvie as a child.
Okay. Now I didn't make this man a whole criminal. He not really.
I was about to say, we could be wrong. We could be wrong.
No, he made himself the criminal, baby. If I have to hear about it, I said, Lord, we got 3 minutes left in the show, and y'all still talking about this man being in jail. Lord Jesus, we get it.
So my bad, Jesse. I called you a criminal, but I just figured since you was in a gang that y'all did some hot wiring, some wires together. You did something that would have gave you an edge. So I was like, dig deep into this.
Hot wire.
Eric's trying to snitch. That's crazy.
I'm just like, dig deep into your criminal past and your history to win, but to no avail, because Gabler with ease created the fire in the fastest time in history, apparently, and snaps it and wins and takes out Jesse in fire making. And it was such a morose moment because for Jesse, it was emotional to be so close to his dream, to be so close to $1 million.
I thought he was gonna come up. I was like, oh, they're gonna fire. And I was like, oh no.
His fire never got started.
It was not going.
And he was very emotional, and everybody was basically like, "We know you were gonna win, Jesse, so we had to take you out."
Oh, he was definitely gonna
I'm
win.
not gonna lie, I would have been like, "Hey, I'm sorry, thank y'all, but shut up." Like Gabler rubbing on my shoulders, being like, "Hey, you did amazing." No,
I would have pulled Owen. I would have been like,
alone.
"Get your hands
Right.
Right, David, let me have my moment.
Like, oh, I forgot to mention. So before this, when Jesse called us and making a pitch to Carla, it was a last ditch thing and it never would have worked. Maybe, who knows? He was like, you should go against me in fire making. You should give up your immunity and go against me in fire making. And that'll just really take you to the next level of the game.
crazy."
If it had worked,
I respect it. Hey, gotta try. He knows he has to make fire, so might as well try.
Try to get her to give up that necklace. Unfortunately, you're not Sari, Jesse, to give it up because Sari got Eric to give up his immunity to Natalie back in season 16. But I just think he was just too great of a threat to do that, and it's just too late in the game. But so he's out, and I felt bad because I'm like, something they said right there. Jesse goes out at Final Four like Hercules did last season. It's like he played a much better game than Hercules. And that's Jonathan, for those who don't remember. And so we're down to our final 3. And I believe we called it, well, most of us did. Gabler, Cassidy, and Owen final 3. And based on this final 3, I knew who I thought was going to win.
Like easily. Yeah. It wasn't even a surprise.
It wasn't.
Because I'd be like, and we literally talked about it. I was like, unless this jury is just like crazy, like, Gabler's probably going to win unanimously. I thought he was.
Me too.
I mean, I almost did.
And go ahead, Josh. You have to say something.
No, I'll tell y'all what happened at the live event in the moment, but y'all keep talking.
Okay. So we get to final tribal council, and I don't quite remember all the questions that were being asked to them, but I do know they asked, like, what was your biggest move, or like, what sets you apart from the people in the game next to you? And they start going down Gabler lists, all the stuff that he's done, and I'm like, yeah, he pretty much did it. He listed the Ellie vote. He was like, I was on the out, whatever. I, planted the seed, took out Ellie, went back under the radar. Allie Gabler. He got the folks laughing. He talked about how he used his social connection. He was in all alliance. He said, all of y'all, I was in everybody's alliance. Not one of y'all thought to put my name down. He said, I was never written down. My name was never written down. I'm like, oop, sure wasn't. And so he just goes down the line. I'm like, yeah, he ate that. And then we get to Cassidy, and she starts, I don't remember what she said. I kind of couldn't even half hear her. But she starts talking about what she did. And then Owen, I was the underdog, and I was never on the right side of the vote. I didn't know what was going on, but I still made it. I still won some immunities here, and I'm just like, okay, that's nice.
Man, Noelle was out here answering questions for Owen.
I said, if she don't hush,
who was asking? Like, do she think she in the finale?
You can't.
They said, Owen, when did you do something for someone else, or when did you risk? Noelle said, well, I helped him with my idol.
I said, hush, because nobody asked.
Trying to help him out.
She did try to help him out. I will say, I did point out that I thought might have helped him. James, he apologized to James for how he went down. He knew, because we talked about this podcast, it was racist. Yeah, the parents that raised you, probably, I don't know what happened, but the racism jumped out. The anti-blackness jumped out of it.
I ain't like it.
I didn't like it, and I think
I ain't gonna lie, that flipped me. I ain't give Owen a second look since then. Call me Bitter Petty. That's me.
Because that's exactly how I felt.
Miss Bitter.
And so he apologized. He's like, James, the way that went down and how I did and acted and treated, I think it was completely wrong, and I want to apologize for that. And I 100% respect that. And I was like, you know what? For me as a juror, or even as a viewer, that gains points for me. Having a repentant heart and spirit, that will get you some brownie points for me. And so I
didn't give me none. I would have been like, it's too late. Sorry. Should sit on your way out.
Apologize.
I'm so bitter. I be holding grudges, y'all.
Listen,
but y'all get that by now. By this episode, whatever this is, y'all know I'm gonna hold a grudge.
Right. And so I was like, okay. And so they're still talking. They're going through all of what they've done. And like I said, this season, it was a great final tribal council. Honestly, like I just wanted, to see what they were going to say because it was quite evident to me. Like I said, like we said, who was going to win. So I really wasn't paying much attention to it. But I did see Cassidy say when they asked her about like what move did she make on her own. And she said, oh, well, I was on the right side of the votes. I pretty much worked with my alliance with James and Carla pre-marriage, and we stayed together as much as we could before we got off on the wrong foot. And I was controlling the votes. I knew where everything was going to go. And they said,
what move did you make?
Yeah,
Cody was like,
credit for the James vote. And then the guys, Jesse, Cody, and Gabler were just like,
fact-checked her. Exactly. She got fact-checked twice, a couple of times, with stuff that she was saying, and they were like, no, that's actually not how that went down.
That's not true.
And specifically with the James vote, Gabler was like, actually, we came up with that, and Cody was like, well, and Jesse too, he was like, we decided that if we saw James, we were voting out Ryan, but if we did not see James, we were voting you out, Cassidy. And she just sat there.
She said, oh.
Because she tried to say when Gabler was talking, she was like, but you didn't da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, girl, you better shut your mouth, because every time she would say something good, she would open her mouth to try to discredit.
She got humbled.
She got humbled.
A few times.
A few times. And again, I don't really know what Owen said. I remember barely any of his answers, because for me, it's just like, you just decoration to sit
garnish. Partially.
So if you guys remember any questions that were said that spoke to you, or anything that you remember that stuck out to you in Final Tribal Council?
I'm going to just say, when it come down to it, okay, let's be very, very real. I haven't seen a lot of seasons of Survivor, so I say this, based off the shows I've seen. This is probably one of the weakest final three I've seen. It is.
Yes.
All three of y'all are on the weaker side, but to be fair, this is a weaker season. Okay. Mm-hmm. The overall season, I'm gonna give it like a 3. Okay. So luckily we picked up on the end a little bit, and we got a little drama here and there. But I'm gonna be very real in my opinion. Like, it was Gabler's here at like, let's see, if we going from 1 to 100, Gabler played a game for me at about a 50. And then here comes Cassie at like a 23, and then here comes Owen at like a 7. So that's how it was for me. Like, all of y'all was failing, but Gabler just was ahead of y'all.
I didn't think Gabler was failing, because for me, again, his confession, and I've been fighting with the folks on Twitter about this, because they're like, all he did was get out Ellie. He didn't do much. All he did was get carried. Gabler was not carried. I'm sorry.
No, Gabler, no. You can say a lot about Gabler. Gabler wasn't carried. Gabler is honestly the only person in this season that played his own game. And when I say his own game, Gabler could give 2 whatevers about what anybody else was doing. Hey, Gabler, you gonna vote for him? Nah.
He just happened to fall onto the right votes. No. He knew exactly, even if they clued him in, here go quotes again, at the last minute, about what was going on. He knew what was happening. He was never on the wrong side of the vote. And 2, he was the swing vote a lot of the time.
A couple of times.
Because he had the idea. He knew he had so much agency. He was aware of Cody and Jesse's duo. We talked about this last time. He is the one, and I'm surprised he did not mention this. And I guess he didn't need it, because, spoiler, Gabler won, you all, by a,
7-1?
7-1.
7-1 vote.
James, the only one that didn't vote for him.
He voted for Cassidy. James voted for Cassidy. And Owen got 0 votes, like he kept saying, I don't want to be a 0 vote finalist. Well, you are. So
should have went home.
And so I'm like, Gabler knew what was going on. So his biggest move, in my opinion, He is the one, Treese, I don't know if you remember, he planted the seeds for Cassidy and Jesse to target Cody and Carla. He's like, you're number ones. People are going to see y'all move together. And if you get to final tribal council with them, it's going to be hard to differentiate your game from them. So you're going to want to do that. And that's what got Jesse's wheels turning. He's like, maybe I do need to start thinking about Cody. And that's what pulled off the biggest move of the season was because of Gabler.
Yeah.
And nobody talks about that. And I don't know why. It was because they don't like him.
About that.
That was the first thing that caught me. I was like, this was Jesse's move. But who put the bullet in the chamber? Gabler did. And he didn't even need to say that via, in his speech to win. But that would have been my move because I sure would have said it. I told y'all, and y'all know right well, when I set y'all both down, Cassidy, and I would have turned to her since you like to interrupt. I set you down, and I set Jesse down. I told y'all need to get rid of y'all number ones to have y'all's own game. So, no, Gabler built the necessary social bonds because for the people and listeners and viewers who don't believe he earned his win or deserved to win over Cassidy,
I think
he played. I do too. And y'all can chime in. He played under the radar game. So after he did the big move with throwing Ellie under the bus and getting her out and planting his seat to get her out, he lowered his target level, went under, won immunity right after that, mind you, to make sure that he was safe so he could stay out of the drama. And he just stayed above the surface, like he said, like an alligator.
Dare I say, he kind of pulled a little Marianne there. Had that personality cranked up to a 10, was kind of doing the most a little bit, and he was like, let me will it back.
Reel it back in.
And it worked.
And he started just like me. She started building social connections with other people, and like he said, he was literally
He started playing weaker.
Yes, right, quote unquote.
Quotes.
He literally was. I forgot he was in everybody's alliance. Everybody was coming. Gabler, this is what we're gonna do. Gabler, this is what we're gonna do. This is what's gonna happen.
Now he would be included last in a lot of these lines, but he always got included.
I was just about to say, was he the one driving the ship though? Like, no. I think there's somewhat importance of that, where it's like, shoot, after Ellie, like there was really nothing that
besides the Ellie vote.
There's nothing that he really drove and directed. And I think you could say this is where I compare Gabler and Cassidy. I don't think I don't think it's a shock that Gabler won, but I do think it's a bit closer than you guys are saying, in my opinion, just because.
You think Cassie should have won over Gabler?
I mean,
in your opinion?
In my opinion, I still probably think Gabler should have won, but I think it's very close.
You think their games are closer than what we're saying?
Yes. In terms of, I mean, Cassidy, she never drove the boat. She was just a passenger. Gabler, he barely drove the boat. In terms of like, there were people playing way better than, or I don't want to say way better, but there were people
they were
directly who was going home week by week. And so I think there's a bit of a difference in highlighting a winner or just like focusing on a winner where there's no real. They were probably like the 5th, 6th, 7th best players, and so
I mean that's true. That's exactly like I said. Like, let's be real. This final three was a weak final three, but you got to pick the best out of this weak final three.
Yeah, because overall, I still think that with Gabler having all this information, he still had a lot of agency to choose what he was going to do.
Exactly.
Like I said, he was the swing vote a lot of times, so
he could have.
What Gabler wanted to do, in a way, was done. Maybe not necessarily pointing him as the kingpin of like all these decision-making things.
Right.
But ultimately his vote is where the vote went.
Exactly.
And I feel like he definitely had more influence than Cassidy, because especially after she got over that Ryan vote. Because they said they didn't see James up there, they were voting her out. And I feel like that moment alone sunk her game. I think that moment alone lost her the game.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I 100% agree. And on top of that, even if he wasn't driving the boat, and we see sometimes you don't need to drive the boat, because when the ship sinks and you the driver or you the captain of the ship, you going down with it. But the passengers, we get a life raft.
Man, Gabler, I want the captain of a ship to win one of these seasons. I need a captain of a ship. We've had too many passengers.
Then go watch Ghost Island, though. A captain that season.
Because also, this is how I like them. That's how I play my games. Whenever I play social games like this, I don't need to be the driver, but I'm gonna hand you the map sometimes. I'm gonna point you in the little direction. I may look over here, and that's what he would do. And so I think that subtle game, and I think, okay, yes, I will agree that they both played underrated. Him and Cassidy played pretty much similar games, but because he was telling us as viewers what he was doing and that everything that was happening was intentional. Like he literally said weeks ago that he wanted Owen and Cassidy in the final 3 with him, and he did what he needed to do to make sure that happened. And so, and he said it on the finale episode. He's like, I want to see. He's like, yeah, I can see getting out Cass, but that's not best for me. I want Owen and Cassidy in the finale. And so everything that he did was with intention. It was not by happenstance that stuff happened. And so that's why I give him more credit than Cassidy, because, and granted, they could have not shown us what Cassidy was doing, but from the viewer standpoint, I didn't see Cassidy doing much. She won. She
wasn't doing. No one was doing. No.
And so, like, y'all don't respect the under radar women's playing the under radar game. I'm like, I do, because Marianne did.
I respect the under radar game, but if there's 5 people playing an under radar game, I have to pick the person that played the best under radar game, and you just were second place. Let's be very real.
I will say with Erica in 41, her kind of crowning thing, her kind of Miriam moment, her, hey, I did this. That was her saying she never voted wrong, right? So I don't know, in your guys' opinion, and of course you can't really compare seasons.
That was her only thing.
Gabe a better winner than Erica just because Gabriel beat Cassidy?
Well, I want to say, like, back to like Erica, a lot of people were saying that the edit did not really show. Even players on that season said the edit did not really show how much power and influence Erica had. Even like that's
because I didn't see none of it.
About Heather, they worried about Heather as like a person of like position of power, but us as viewers, like, where?
I'm still waiting on a clip. Because what she do?
Because I was like, Heather was a threat. The fact that they considered Heather a threat over
it's wild
with a whole idol.
Like, what have y'all been watching?
The fact that they let Xander go all the way to the final 5 with an idol and did not care that this man had an idol cracked me up. But talking about Erica's win, I think the edit did her disservice, because I feel like y'all said like she was doing stuff and they all corroborated that. But I'm like, you know what? She had to be a threat, because we know Shan was the mistress of chaos and she was running the puppet mistress of the game next to Ricard. And she knew Erica needed to go, and she told Danny and Deshaun. She told them that she needed to go because she don't trust her, and she feel like she's doing stuff behind the scene, and she needed to go. They did not listen to her, and she flipped the script, got Shan out the game, and won the game. So it's like, if Shan recognized something was that she needed to go, then maybe she did do some stuff behind the scenes. So.
Yeah.
Is Gabler a better winner than Erica? Back to your question.
No.
Yes.
Because we saw it.
Listen, the only thing I have to go off of is what I've seen. I've seen Erica play, and I've seen Gabler play.
Oh, and Erica had that hammer, that time thing too.
Yeah. So for me, it was Gabler.
I'm taking Davon's Twitter name. I said what I saw.
Listen, and that's exactly what it was. But I want to.
What I seen.
I do think that's a big difference between Survivor and Big Brother. Where Big Brother, you can see the nuanced game better. You can see the highly social micro movements.
Yeah, we don't get to see everything.
Than Survivor.
Yeah. I want to ask y'all though. There's been a lot of flack from on Carla's side. People are attacking this woman.
Child.
And I just have to say, I'm gonna get y'all's opinion, but I have to say, people are just upset that she didn't vote for Cassie, right? And I'm gonna be real, because I said this too. I can't remember who it was she was putting up, because Lord knows, y'all know I be forgetting names like a drop of a hat. But when Carla went on the little challenge and she picked all of the men. Oh no, that was what's her name. But anyways, Carla did some stuff throughout the season. I'm mixing up names right now because I'm thinking of Noelle right now. But Carla literally verbatim said, "Hey, if you vote me out, you know I'm gonna like throw your name under the mud to jury, right?" And what did Cassie do? She voted her ass out.
And what did Carla do?
And I'm pretty sure that's what she did. No. And everybody's like, Carla, why you vote for her? Da, 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 da. But why would she vote for her? I wouldn't have voted for her either. You voted me out. Look, you forgot that at the end of the day, I have a vote. And I told you what was going to happen with my vote and my words if you voted me out. And that's what you did. You did what you said you was going to do. And I in return did the same thing.
But today in some of the exit press, Carla denied the fact of having any influence on dragging Cassie's name through the mud. She said she sang all that as a Hail Mary and was like, because I feel that because I've used those tactics before when I play games.
She might not have threw her under the bus, but as her ally, I think it was expected for her to have a voice for her in the jury. And so as much as she didn't throw her under the bus, she didn't help her on the bus either, is what I'm taking from that. Like, I don't think she really was like F Cassie, she ain't shit. I don't think she was like talking like that. But everybody's like, she's so misogynistic. She's just doing what and I was like, y'all do realize Janine, Noelle, and Carla all had votes in the jury. Yes. I'm correct. Those are only 3 women that were in jury, correct?
Yes, and not man one of them.
And last I checked, Owen got 0 votes.
0.
Cassie got 1. And last I checked, James is a man and voted for him. So why is everybody on Carla ass and not on Carla, Janine, and Noelle's ass? I don't get it.
At the end of the day, it's a game, and we have probably
they are attacking
more data than they do. We get to see everyone's confessionals.
Yes.
Right.
They don't. They get to go off word of mouth, and it's basically like rumors, essentially. Ooh, or just stuff that happened by the game of telephone. So I don't think you can get mad at anyone.
You can't. And that's the thing. I had to tweet about that too. I was like, what y'all not gonna do is like drag Carla's name through the mud, calling her obscenities and, talking about her character, all because she didn't vote the way you liked. And the fact that y'all, first of all, y'all so fake, because before last night, y'all were Queen Carla, Mother Carla. And as soon as she don't vote the way y'all want, it's all these names. She this and that. She worked for the men. She was a woman hater. She's this and she's that. And it's like, no, bitter. And everybody, the jury was just bitter against Cassidy. They didn't respect her as a woman.
No, they voted off what they saw.
And what they heard, and she did terrible in Final Tribal Council. And we hear somebody cooing in the background.
I knew she'd be up eventually.
And so it's like
she said, "Keep Carla's name out your mouth."
That part. And so it's like you can't say that. They were just trying to discredit Cassidy throughout the entire thing. It's like, well, because Survivor has an open tribal council, you can do that. Apparently, it's not like Big Brother where they just ask a little questions and that's it. In Survivor, you have the chance to rebuttal if somebody says something against you, whether it's somebody next to you or somebody in the jury. You get a chance to explain, rebuttal, or whatever you need to do. So it's like, if I'm on a jury and I can discredit you because what you're saying is BS, I'm going to do it. And that's what they did. They called her out on it. So go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, people can be upset and think that people picked the wrong winner. Like, I'll say Big Brother was Paul should have beat Josh. I'll say Tyler should have beat Casey. I know everyone has their own opinions on that. So you could say that they're wrong, but don't attack people based off their perception of the game and all that type of stuff.
Look, it was kind. It was thank you. And it was like reminiscent for me, like with everything, how everything's going with this Carla situation. It reminded me of back when Davon voted for Nicole and they were all slandering her and talking about her. How dare you vote for her? And you were just bitter. And I was like, if anything, it would have been bitter if she voted for Paul because Nicole is the one who did her dirty. And so for her to vote for Nicole was actually not bitter. It was the opposite. And everybody's blaming Davon for Nicole winning as if she was the deciding vote. And it was like, really, Julie just drew her key last out of the box.
Yeah, that just so happened to be
it. But Davon got all the backlash. And now Carla's getting all this backlash, like as if she was the deciding vote or she was the only person to vote for Cassidy when there were 6 other people who voted for Gabler to win. 2 of them being women. That's all I got.
Now, let me tell you what happened at the actual live finale.
Yes, give us the tea. We need the tea.
Let us know.
So let me tell y'all. So I was actually over in the VIP section with because pretty much all the cast was there minus Gabler.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was in there, I was like right in front of Owen, sitting next to Janine when the votes were being read off. And when I tell you,
was her chin together?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
baby, she had that little scab for years. Felt like
no, she got fixed up.
Hey, shout out to Janine's chin.
She got hit with you. But anyway, I'm in there, and when the first vote came up for Gabler, someone audibly booed. And it was in the VIP section.
Who was it? Who booed?
Oh, we was looking around because I was next to Janine and Noelle, and they heard the boo. Was like, who booed? That's so rude. I'm just like, And then like later, I'm gonna go and send y'all the video in the chat later.
Yeah.
But like I recorded a video of like when them revealing the votes, and like Ricard was there. His jaw was just dropped. Like, oh my god, Gabriel's is actually about to win, and everyone was just so shook. But Cassidy was there, and she had a little bit of a If you ever seen the movie White Chicks, she kind of had a little bit of a bitch fit, just a little bit.
Like she didn't know.
Right.
No, like she got upset. I guess she got upset all over again watching.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, girl, you had all this time to prepare yourself.
that's understandable.
Like,
that's a lot to watch it on TV. Watch you lose $1 million on TV. I'd be balling. I'm sorry.
Cassie be acting like the vote was like 5-4. Girl, sit down.
Girl,
sit down.
you had no chance.
She stormed out of that room. Her mom had to go and calm her down.
Take to the
She
back.
stormed out.
No, she like ran out after the results hoping because she was like, I guess she kind of was reliving the moment again, the disappointment. And like her mama had to go calm her down.
I mean, I'd be mad if I lost $1 million too. I ain't mad at them.
I would have been like, they got me, y'all. I didn't quite make the cut. It sucks. But also, Owen, how about Owen being shady and liking tweets talking about Carla, like the bad things about Carla?
No, because he was definitely after that finale too. I was like,
man,
okay, the Owen I met last night at Oz's birthday party ain't the same Owen I'm interacting with here at this Survivor finale. You on two different vibes here.
Yeah.
Hey, postseason, Owen is a bitter bitch.
He's always bitter.
I was gonna say a bitter Betsy, but there goes.
Yeah, my word is better. Like, that's how he acting.
No,
and I get it. He's like, upset.
Remember, like during that last immunity challenge after his stack fell, he broke his damn stick, so he couldn't do the challenge no more.
I ain't gonna lie, I would have been playing like him because I'm very competitive. So while I'm talking about him, I'd be bitter bitch number 2. Because I'd be like, man, I hate losing. But I know he I sent the article, I think to you, Eric, and Kiki, shout out Kiki, about him being upset that they're like, he's like, I just lost. And they over here giving out pizza and champagne and stuff. I said, I would have been bad too. I'd have been like, I'm going to the back. Like, I would have been pissed.
Fresh off a 0 vote finale. Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody like, why you mad at Jeff? You need to be mad at these other 8 people next to you.
Right. And not Jeff trying to soften the blow. Just because you didn't receive any votes does not mean you didn't play a great game.
No, that means he didn't play a great game at all.
That means you didn't
you're a
deserve
loser. That means you lost.
That means and so
which I'm hype these people up. They grown. You failed.
You lost. You did. And so it's just like, I mean, that sucks. I know I wouldn't be in nobody's final 3 and not getting not 1 vote. I'm getting something. I'm going to get second.
I'm leaving here with something. I'm taking a torch or something. I don't care. I'm leaving here with something.
Dude, I'd love to say I would. Then I'll walk up and be first move. So you know what?
But
shout out to them for making final 3. They
outlasted. You wouldn't be no first boot. You make merge just because you tall.
I hope so. Shoot, don't record nothing because what? It's about to come out. I'm about to say, hey, I'm about to be final 3 a lot. First boot, second boot, and now I'm looking stupid. So y'all better chill. But
that's why I said I ain't gonna knock them.
Mm-hmm. They outlasted.
They did.
They outlasted. They won immunities. And end of the day, in my opinion, if you weren't the one driving the ship, if you weren't the clear winner, and I could understand you being upset, you understand your game better than everyone else. And if you can't articulate it to the jury, if you can't convince them, they each had their shot to do that. And we could say that. You could say that Cassidy should have won. You could say that Gabler should have won. Shoot, you could say that.
In the words of Kiki, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I want to ask y'all one last question before we wrap this up, though. What is y'all's ideal final 3, and who would win out of that final 3?
For this season?
I'm gonna let y'all do y'all's. Yes.
I think the ideal final. Well, if we talking like, because I'm kind of with Eli, I want to go back to a competitive like final 3 where it's like where it's up in the air. Because like I feel like really the past few seasons it's kind of been like a foregone. I knew Marianne was gonna win if she got to the end. I kind of was thinking that Erica was gonna win in 41.
I'm talking about 43.
I know. I'm just saying.
Erica,
like,
we need like a Parvati and what you call that man? What's his name?
Russell?
With
Russell.
the
no, more like Parvati and Sandra. That was
that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
Okay,
yeah.
You said man. So I was like, hold on.
Sandra. I couldn't think of her name. I was like, who else was in that finale? I couldn't think of it. I was thinking of the one she won. That was with just her and Amanda. So I was like, who did she beat? But yes, Sandra and Parvati. That's what I meant. Sorry. Excuse me. Queen Sandra. We need something competitive like that.
So if we were doing 43, I guess based the most realistic, if it could have happened, it would have been Carla, Jesse, and Cody. I feel like toward the end game, that would have been the most competitive because you're gonna have Jesse and Cody competing to like go and
I didn't think about putting Cody in there. That's actually not bad.
Like I know we're not
bad
fans of him, but like I just would think the battle between two people that played side by side is almost giving like Dominic versus Wendell. Two people who played side by side, so they got to go and come back to see like who did what moves.
And then that almost gives Carla the edge because she can differentiate her game and standalone game.
Mm-hmm. Would have been interesting. A place where everyone played a very forward game and just has to try to.
I would have liked. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I just want to get to. I would just like for once for there to be a final 3 where I can legitimately see cases for all 3 of them winning.
Yeah,
like legit.
I think last one was the one that Michelle was there with Aubrey, right? Where Aubrey was 3rd place. I forget 2nd place. And Michelle from I think she's on the challenge now. But
yeah, Michelle. Aubrey. But then again, Winners at War was kind of close to. I think,
true.
Like with Tony, Natalie, and Michelle, I think that was a very strong final 3 right there too.
Yeah.
Me and Tree's like, we don't know who Michelle is.
Don't.
Aubrey,
let me educate y'all. No.
Eli,
Eric, who is your 3?
My 3 would have been Jesse, Carla, and Sammy. Because Sammy played a really strong flip-flopping flip game that I thought that was really chaotic.
He just needs to learn how to lie better.
Yes, he sucked at lying.
And but I wouldn't mind seeing him play again, actually, which is a surprise to me saying that out of my mouth right now. But yeah, I would mind seeing him play again.
Have him turn 21.
Yeah.
Get that expertise.
Because honestly, that's what he lacked was experience.
I agree with that. Who your 3, Eli?
Shoot. I mean, I was going to go with Josh's list, but I think I would like to see Sammy in the final. I know early on during our Thanksgiving podcast, I mentioned Sammy as my winner pick, and I think he went home the very next week.
Me too. I said,
But I think seeing him in there with Carla and Jesse would have been 3 different stories and 3 deserving winners, in my opinion. Sammy's probably the 0 vote finalist in that case, but I still think it would have been interesting to hear people plead their case.
Absolutely. 1000%. And I mean, as we wrap up the moral, did you already say your 3 trees?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
My 3 would have been Jesse, Carla, and Gabler, with Jesse taking the win. But I want to say that Jesse would have won 1 vote over Carla.
Yeah.
That's I think it would have been very close, but I would have had Jesse edging out the win over Carla. But yeah, that's mine. But go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say the moral of the story is do not, and we've seen this in back-to-back seasons of shows now. We saw this in Big Brother last season. We've seen it in Survivor last season, and we've seen it the Survivor season before that, and now here. Quit taking people who know how to speak well to final tribal council or to the finale.
Charismatic people. You have someone that can smile,
I don't even care if you ain't did nothing. You speak to them, going home.
Exactly, because all you have to do is articulate. For me, that's what I said. I don't need a flashy move. Forget throwing the fire making. If I can talk, which I can, that's all I need. Because I'm gonna make a no move out of something. Okay. All I string some words together and make it sound pretty and sprinkle that parsley, that garnish on there and make it sound real good. That's all it takes.
All Gabler had to say was AWAGBT, and I swear from that point on, he got the momentum from there, and he won when he said AWAGBT.
Literally. You make the jury laugh, you got it. Unless you Enzo and you sit next to Cody.
Enzo, that's a different laugh.
That was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, but I also think it's very important. Something we've seen a lot of like people that have won recently. And people that are very aware of their position in the game.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is ultimately one of the most common traits I've seen amongst people that have won lately are people that are hyper aware and are like exact about where they are in the game, their relationships, where they are in the hierarchy.
Yes.
That's very important.
Yes. And Gabler was very much aware, and he told us where he was and what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, great point, Josh. Great point. So you all, that listeners and viewers,
I just wanted to bring up one last thing with Gabler sending all of his money to charity. Can't forget that.
Yeah.
He said, "I don't need $1 million or probably like 600,000 after taxes. I don't need that."
Because he might probably make that.
Right.
I mean, I ain't mad at him because you won their money, do what you want to. But if I was on that cast, if I was Cassie, if I was Owen,
I would have been like,
nigga, I got bills. You a surgeon? I got bills, bro.
Can you pay my bill? Can you pay my telephone bill?
Like you trying to give it to charity? Go on and give it to the Miss Jackson charity over here.
Your own money to charity.
Listen,
Miss Jackson just had a baby. I need some Pampers.
Low key, I tweeted. I was like, I'm over here going to bed. I said somebody need to give me Gabler's ad so I can at him to let him know I'm in the trenches for him on Twitter, and he can donate some of that surgeon money since he got rid of some of all that money. Donate to the charity of Eric, okay? Please.
Listen,
I will take some of that surgeon money.
Imagine going for dang, how many days is it now? 26 days. 26 days, and no one came out richer. No one made it.
Like nobody.
Second place does get 100,000.
Okay, so congratulations. Congratulations, Cassie. You made the most money this season.
I was about to say, Cassie made it.
Why she trying to holler
in her pocket?
Right.
Why she trying to holler and cry?
At least she got a check. Shoot.
Right.
Because I would definitely be a little salty that he didn't stay here and gave up all this money. But hey, he waited.
Shout out to the cause. Hey, if it helps
Absolutely.
people get through hard mental health times, like ultimately, if the money he donates saves one life, shoot, that's
all that matters. So, and
speaking, it's definitely respect. I would have did something differently, but respect to him.
Respect. I made a donation, but I wouldn't have gave the
right. A donation would have been made to the church. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But baby,
1,000, maybe 25.
Right.
Say $5.
Right.
A little something. I went through a little change. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But it was a noble cause. And speaking of mental health, I know as we're wrapping up, but it just came to me. Eli brought it up to my attention. We, in the news recently, Twitch, he was from Ellen's. He's the DJ on Ellen. He did pass away by way of suicide. And so this is for our listeners and viewers to be aware of mental health and to check on the people that you love, especially the ones who are smiling and always happy.
Definitely those.
Depression does not have a specific face. It does not manifest the same way in everyone. And so just look out for your loved ones and the people that you interact with and care about. Because mental health is real, depression is real, and we want to make sure we're getting people the help that they need and supporting the people in our lives who are, battling depression and other mental health problems. So just be mindful.
Even the people you don't know, like it really takes no energy to just be nice to somebody, and you literally don't know. You can literally change somebody's day from just saying hi. That's a nice outfit you got on. I just want to compliment you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Actually, y'all listen to this. Give somebody you don't know a compliment tomorrow, just for the hell of it.
Just because.
Yeah.
And if you are struggling, I know here in Washington, we have the number 988 if you do need to dial something. So, and people, to my knowledge, have people that are willing to help you out, talk to you, discuss through everything. So, see if the number 988 is available for you. If not, there's always people that will be willing to listen. So,
even me, slide into my DMs. I'm not a professional, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, but I can try to lighten and brighten your day if I can.
Right.
And I'm very serious about that. So, check on your friends.
I am low-key a therapist. I haven't gotten my license yet, but I am graduating.
Look at him educating us. I said I'm not educated, but here come Eric. Well, I am educated.
Mr. Master.
Okay, Mr. Master.
This is my field, and while I cannot
come on, Massa.
While I cannot provide you the services, especially if you're outside of Oklahoma anyways, I can't legally do that, but I can offer you tips and tools and a listening ear to help make sure you're supported and help you get to the places and resources that you need. So,
and he gonna show me those tips and tools, because I did take a lot of psychology classes and stuff, and then I'm gonna like do that for you because I'm not legally bound to anything.
Oh my goodness. On that note,
now don't listen to me.
Listeners, viewers, we appreciate you. We love you all. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season because Christmas is coming up next week.
Let me brighten y'all's day real quick.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Look to the video. If you're an audio listener, look at how adorable. Oh my goodness.
Look at her.
Oh, okay. Oh, you went back to sleep. She was awake for like half a second. She like, nah, never mind.
Back to sleep.
My little early Christmas present.
So cute.
Yeah. And what? This is a season finale, right?
This wraps our season.
Season 5 of
nice little bow on our season.
Has come to an end.
Does that mean next one is BB Can or what? I'm eavesdropping.
Yeah, our next big season will definitely be Big Brother Canada, which would hopefully come around. I don't think we have a date yet, but I know it's March. It's always March.
Yeah.
We should be getting a date soon. There's no Celebrity Big Brother to our knowledge. We would be doing Celebrity Big Brother, but there's like I don't know if it's 100%, but it's probably like a 99% chance there's no Celebrity Big Brother this season.
Right.
But on the chaos they done had, child.
But I will say, although we are wrapping season 5 of the podcast, be on the lookout for some to-go play episodes because you know, we have the Best Man holiday series getting ready to come out next week or a week or two. And for those who are old, like me and Treese, I don't know if y'all know what Best Man, the series is. But that's one of ours. We grew up with, you know, the Nia Longs, the Sanaa Lathans, the Morris Chestnut.
Shout out to Nia Long.
Tay Diggs, you know. So our older actors and actresses that we grew up with that did all our back in the night black movies in the 90s, they're coming back to wrap up the series with a series, and so we will be coming to talk about that, so be on the lookout. But other than that, again, have a happy holiday season. We
Merry
appreciate
Christmas.
you all, and we will see you when we see you.
We'll see you in the new year.
Happy holidays.
We will see you next year.
See y'all later. Bye.